Alright guys, happy Friday to everyone out there. I wanted to make this video and talk to you about some things concerning the media and guns and just things that the media doesn't report or doesn't tell you. And the general public just eats up whatever the mainstream media feeds them. Okay, first of all, let's start with police officers. This is going to show you how much of an impact the media, the left liberal media, has on the sheep of this country. Okay, I looked it up online, and as of 2008, I don't know what the current stats are, there are 1.3 million law enforcement officers in the United States. Now, out of that 1.3 million, the media gets these 4 or 5 cases that most of the time wasn't even anything that the cop did wrong, and they play them and spin them all over the TV until you get all these movements out there of people that hate policemen and call for the killing of all cops. Now, this is the same liberal left-wing loony media that will say, oh, Muslims are a religion of peace. They are a good people. We can't call them all by the actions of one or two, when in reality, the Muslims of the world are over 1 billion, and 5 to 7% are radical. The radical Muslims number 75 million approximately, but yet we have continuous time after time after time attacks in this country on our own soil, and this liberal media won't even call it. The president of the United States won't even call it what it is: radical Islamic terrorism. Not all of Islam is doing this, but when you have 1 billion worldwide and you say, oh, only 5 to 7% are radical, that means 75 million. So when you have 4 or 5 stories that this media has been spinning for years about police that ramps up and gets this country stirred up, and these people out in the street marching, hating cops, wanting to kill cops, that's where things need to change and things need to turn around. And like I said, for 90% of these cases, the police were absolved from any wrongdoing when the facts came out. The media puts this out there before the facts are all known, gives it to the public the way they want to feed it to them. The public interprets it that way, and they're against the cops then from that point on, no matter what happens. They'll say, oh, the court system's corrupt. The judge was corrupt. The one that said the cop was innocent was corrupt. The lawyer was corrupt. When in reality, the cop was in 100% within his rights in the beginning. Now let's talk about citizens and civilians and carrying guns. The media doesn't tell you about the hundreds and hundreds of thousands per year of times that lawful, law-abiding citizens protect their homes, their families, and other people with firearms. They will not go into that. They will not talk about that. They only bring out the bad and portray it all over the news. Now, there is also so many cases that we have no number on where people have displayed a firearm and it ended the situation, and nobody called the cops. Now, let me qualify that. How come when people say racking a shotgun or racking a semi-auto pistol, that's all you have to do and the bad guy will run? Why do we laugh at that and make fun of that and say, don't ever do that, don't ever go under that mindset? Living under the mindset of racking a shotgun or a semi-auto pistol will make the bad guy run, that will get you killed. But the fact of the matter is, there is, truthfully, thousands and thousands of people a year that just display a gun and it ends the situation. But you can't live under that mindset. That will get you killed. Okay, there's 2 distinct differences there, and there's a very thin line there between those 2 things. Anybody that tells somebody that if you go around and that's what you rely on, that, oh, you know, if somebody comes in murdering these older people at the old folks' home, all I got to do is display my Beretta and he'll run, that'll get you killed. But if somebody does come in the old folks' home murdering old people, and you pull out your Beretta to do what you have to do and stop the threat, and that threat then drops his gun and runs out the door, well, that was a consequence that happened at that time, and you didn't know if it was going to happen or not, and you had no idea. You was ready to do what you had to do, and you was ready to stop the threat by any means necessary. Just giving you an example there of what we're talking about. Also, AR-15s are a very good defense weapon. I don't want to copy anybody on YouTube that made some videos, but I heard Reed Hendricks say, and this is really, really a good point, the guy that does training for Valor Ridge, he said AR-15s are great because women of small stature and people that are handicapped can handle this gun with intruders much more than they could like a .357 Magnum or even a small handgun. It's much more easy for handicapped people, small stature women to employ an AR-15 in the use of self-defense. Home invasions happen, folks, and they happen with more than one person. So, you know, you're not going to want a single shot, a single shot 22 in that case. So we need to get things straight around that. But the media will always push the left agenda. You can't believe anything they say. I'm hoping Donald Trump wins. We got to get this man in there. If we don't, we are doomed. As gun owners, we are done. That's all I can say about it. Guns save lives. Yeah, you're going to have a couple of lunatics declaring war on our soil and doing things. One of the reasons this keeps happening is because our president and our leadership is weak in this country. There is no repercussions for this. You know, there is nothing. Now, you know, where the San Bernardino killers had been over here, they should have went to where that female was trained, and they should have bombed that place to dust. Now, you can't really do nothing to somebody that's born here in this country and is raised here. But what you do is when a terrorist strikes here, you go to where they were trained and where they lived and whoever harbored them, and you blow that city to rubble, and you turn it to nothing but powder. And that's how you start to, and then pretty soon, nobody will accept any of these terrorists in their country. That's one of the ways you start to do it. Next is you have to cut off the money. Either bomb the oil. I think we should take the oil. Some people don't think that's right. I do. Either take the oil or bomb it to where they can't get it out and get it contained. Bomb where the wells are so it just flows out. I say we take the oil and we take that money. But regardless of that, they need to cut the funding off. If you don't have funding, you can't have terrorism. And also, I think that some of these places, some of these countries that are harboring the most terrorists, I think they should not have access. I think their internet access should be cut. They shouldn't have access to the World Wide Web to influence people over here. They should have no ability. We should be able to shut down their internet infrastructure in these countries where the terrorists are coming from. All right, guys. Well, we'll see. Put in the comments if you agree with me or not. And this is off the cuff. No notes. So if I stumbled a little bit, you understand why. But this is just off the cuff. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. H4T. Have a great weekend. And I'm out.